Again, you may not know him. He's had 2 ProQuest wins, but he's a formidable force in the field.
Oh, absolutely.
He came in as a Bolton main. I don't know if anyone knows the story.
Oh.
So Matt Fox was saying about how rubbish Bolton was. Emad Kashy said he could take anyone on Bolton. No one believed him. Everyone thought it was a joke.
Oh, really?
Took him on, won a best of 5. Straight off.
Oh, there we are then.
So Emad really knows his value and in his aggro decks, and he's really been working hard with Team Toxic on this Zen deck. And of course, we've seen Talishar. The Americans may be on Zephanidios, but in the UK, we're on Talishar.
Absolutely. And we got Anton here as well. A couple of great top 32 calling Barcelona and calling Warsaw. LGS in Darksphere in London. Fantastic game store. One that James White actually went to recently to visit. Again, part of the Team Sigil sporting the famous, now at this point, black and white jersey.
Absolutely.
Black and white jumper.
Very much a grudge match between Team Toxic and Team Sigil. So it's great to see. Both teams are extremely excited for this. You may even hear Shamir shouting in the background in a couple of minutes. We'll see.
Absolutely. But here are the 2 players just gearing up for what is going to be potentially there we go, the United Kingdom National Championship. This is up for grabs for one of these gentlemen today.
That's the trophy they were all wanting. But only one person can take it home. Whether it's Anton or Emad, we will see.
Absolutely.
Okay, James is just going to take away those for now.
And we'll see that Dash, starting with the Teklo Pounder in play, similar to the last game, just looking to just go absolute face here straight away.
So Anton gets to choose whether he goes first and second, and that'll be interesting because if he chooses to go first, he might just do a little setup turn. He might just put
That's
out
what we saw last time, right?
Absolutely, before that hideous maximum velocity turn.
I was watching from the side and I was like, that is ridiculous.
Absolutely ridiculous. So we'll see. We'll see whether he decides to play first or second, because of course second's traditionally the way the aggro matches like to go. So he has chosen to go first to try and set up, but I don't know if I see any items in his hand. He might just have attacks. So we'll see. He's pitching into the pistol. Yep. Looks like a throttle of 0 to 60.
I think.
And a zipper hits.
Yeah.
So the 0, 1, and 2 cost attacks, but no items there for setting up. He might just be pitching into the weapon. Let's see.
I mean, this is televised as an aggro against aggro, but a lot of players are going to be taking their time to make sure they can establish the value that they need to smash that other person's face as much as possible. So it's maybe not going to be as fast as we might expect, because people are actually calculating what they're going to do with that aggro there. But
absolutely, we saw Anton there had 2 blues and a yellow with that red, so he really just wants to keep the red and pass the blues and yellows on to try and draw a better hand.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have Descendant Gust Wave. Now, it's not too threatening with a Bond since there's nothing in the graveyard right now, but certainly it's starting to set one up. If you can get a hideous Bonds turn, that is a massive damage.
Oh, absolutely. And we can see a Transcend card as well. I think that's is it the Stir the Pot, that one?
Stir the Pot, which is fantastic for turn 1, since you don't even need to set it up. There's no target involved, so you don't need anything in the graveyard, for example. All you need to do is shuffle your deck. And even if you've just started the game, you've got a shuffle deck, just might as well just shuffle it again.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
I mean, shuffling is half the fun of Flesh and Blood, I find sometimes. You just shuffle the deck, and I could just do that all day.
Yeah. Absolutely, but getting a chi.
Okay, so they might be deciding not to shuffle the deck. Oh, they are going to shuffle the deck. I was about to say maybe they were deciding shortcut just since they already shuffled it. Yes, in fact, they might have just decided we're not going to shuffle the deck. We've already just shuffled it. If we both agree the deck is shuffled, then we have that shortcut available.
Of course, he's going to go get a combo card as a result of Zen's ability here. Nice Transcend early. Pog, absolutely.
And those beautiful Marvel Tigers.
Yeah, I can see Baz in the background floating up the Marvel art there. Lovely old job.
Fantastic.
But yeah, this is it's cool and calculated.
Absolutely. And of course, Tigers, they came in Dusk Till Dawn, I believe, but we didn't really see the full value of them until just now with part of the Misfell.
Yeah. I think it was Dynasty, actually.
Oh, Dynasty, was it?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. One of the expansion slots that just don't exist anymore to a certain degree. But
of course, I apologise.
That's all right. It's been a long day.
It has been a very long day.
For these players as well, right? A long weekend. It's crazy how these players can just go day after day playing as all this Flesh and Blood at the highest level, and that's why they become champions. It's
absolutely
your resilience.
So coming with that spinning wheel click, nothing fancy, but it's great for that combo. When you're playing those ancestral harmonies, you really want to be banishing combo cards. So anything that says combo on it, you don't say no to.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay, Anton just deciding if he wants to block. Again, this is very aggro, so it wouldn't be a surprise if he decides to hold his hand, but certainly Dash has that flexibility to do what works best with their hand.
Teklo Pounder suggests he's just going to crack back as hard as possible.
It would suggest that.
But we'll see. Taking that damage, though.
Absolutely.
Crouching Tiger for
Lovely.
1.
Crouching Tiger for 1, using Shukos. Damage, of course, cannot be prevented. Not so relevant for Dash, but in other matchups it can be. Okay, coming for 1, and they're just finishing, not even wanting to swing Talishar.
Spicy bit of tech out of the UK this weekend. You know, we had the Zephyr Needles and the US Nats. Now we got a Talishar with a white border just for extra tilt as well.
Absolutely. You can get 4 value in a lot of different ways. The Americans are preferring Zephyr Needle. UK were preferring Talishar. There is really pros and cons to each choice. With the Talishar, the problem is it breaks after 3 hits. You're only ever getting 12 value out of it. Whereas Zephyr Needle, you can get as much value until your opponent starts blocking and destroying them. So here we go. A Dash was coming in with a high octane. Just drawing that card.
Here we go.
We saw in the previous game, those extra action points really make a difference in these aggro matchups.
100%, yep. And we've got 2 floating as well. Teklo Foundry Heart is also one of those things that could extend the turn even further, as we saw in the last game as well.
And fantastic to see both players laughing along.
Yeah,
it's
even at this level, I don't know, similar to us, we're just laughing along at this point.
I don't know if I'd be laughing if I was one of the players, but it's great to see.
Absolutely bricking it, I expect. But that's why we're in the booth, Paul.
That is why we're in the booth.
That's why we're in the booth.
Anytime, Az.
Yeah, no worries, mate. I'm sure we'll do it again.
Okay, just deciding how he wants to play this. It looks like he's got quite an awkward hand with some blues, so maybe he can't quite... Oh, there we go. We've got a red Zipper Hip coming in for 5. Fantastic. Banishing.
Twin Drive.
Twin Drive. Great card for those maximum velocities, as we saw previously. So a bit of a power card, but sometimes, sometimes it just doesn't gel.
Exactly.
And sometimes you've got 2 more in the deck. Just wait and see when they pop up.
There we go. It's a nice little boost marker from By the Same Token. Just thought I'd mention them again. Why not? Coming
in for 7 with the Pounder. Of course, those Pounders only having 2 more triggers on them, but when you're in an aggro match, that's probably all the turns you need.
Exactly.
Now, the problem with these aggro matchups is it's really about getting every last bit of value out of your hand. So these players are really going to be thinking about whether they want to block or not, because it is a huge crossroads in which way they take their aggro plan. And both players can always take a turn off just to block, set up. They both have avenues to do so. And we can see there's 2 transcend. Oh, no, there's 1 transcend, sorry. But we do have a levels in hand, which could come in spicy for Kashy.
Yeah. That's another thing as well. Like Zen has a lot of non-blocks in hand as well, right? So that could come into play as well if he actually needs to block towards the end of the game. That the density of non-blocks is a lot higher. And Dash, as we know, is very consistent and can block fairly well as well of all those Mechanologist cards.
Until she sees an item. So they both have as many numbers.
True.
They're probably quite similar in that regard in terms of being able to block for 3. Maybe Zen will be having a couple more 2 blocks.
Yeah.
But certainly they both have a similar dynamic in terms of they may just have a hand that just doesn't block very well.
Yep.
The difference, I suppose, is that Dash can actually control that, or how many items she puts in a deck, whereas Zen really needs those transcend cards just to function.
True, very true. Yeah, still thinking long and hard about this 7. Should put them down to 33 if there was no blocks. Stating the obvious, I know, but there we go.
Here we go.
Been a great weekend so far. Thanks for everybody who's tuned in so far. Thanks for all your kind comments as well in the chat.
Been an absolutely fantastic weekend. Can't wait to catch up with all the other nationals as well. I hear Spanish is going on. I think there's at least 3 or 4 different streams going on, so always check out those different nations.
It is a stacked weekend, sure. And there were 3 CC games in the first stream we had yesterday as well, so if you want to go check those out, there were some corkers in there as well.
Just closing the chain now. Keeping out high octane there, just as a reminder. Okay. So shooting off the pistol.
Yeah, and then we can still Teklo Foundry Heart after this, get more resources, and then play out whatever's left in the hand plus the arsenal, perhaps, if he wants to carry on.
Yeah, pistol 2. Now deciding how to play out the rest of the hand. I think it was it a throttle at
Zipper Hit? Oh yeah, maybe.
No, in the arsenal. I think it might be a throttle for 6.
Yeah.
Finance Arsenal, this is the top 8. This is the finals.
This is the final of the UK
Nationals.
Nationals.
This is deciding who will be the UK champion.
Yeah.
There we go. Throttle played out from Arsenal.
Banishing a Pulse Wave Harpoon, which bit of a shame. Another obviously coupled with Twin Drive, another one of the very, very powerful cards going in the drain there. But
absolutely, especially in these aggro matchups, being able to pull a card out of the opponent's hand is massive for forcing blocks and just bringing down the power of the opponent.
Force the because Zen's got quite a significant fridge over there. Plus, he wants to block when he wants to get the value out of Traverse and the Tiger off the boots, right? So that could be another card that we see. But I'm not sure if we saw many T-bones in the last game. Do you remember any?
We did see some T-bones.
We did see some T-bones.
We did see them. But it's always tide flippers. You can see that actually.
It's tide flippers.
Yeah,
I completely missed that.
so Kashy has brought in some Arcane Barrier, which is very neat. Yeah. So it's not bringing it in for the Arcane Barrier. It's exactly for those T-bones. If a T-bone comes in, if you don't want to block, all three of those equipments do block, and they're very precious, but they'll break once they break. The Traverse, the Kasaya, and the Shukos. So by having tide flippers in there, it just allows you to put a 0 block that will just stay alive throughout the entire game.
Okay.
And just protect the rest of the equipment, of course, until you see 2 T-bones in one turn, and then you're in trouble.
Yeah.
So now we have another zipper hit coming for 5. Yep, it's an aggro, so we're just going to take that. Send me the bill.
Send me the bill. Yeah, absolutely. He's cashing in that check.
Yeah.
Sorry, so Tech Pounder is the first time the first attack gets +2.
Correct.
Right, okay, yeah. I was going to say that would be ridiculous. That would be like a Channel Mountain Heroic Light. Goes to show.
Yeah, so the conditions are it must be the first attack, and it also must be boosted. So if you ever don't want to use the pounder, you can always just not boost the attack.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. That's good.
Okay, passing back. Let's see what we get on the swing back from Kashy. Now, we've got a Transcend here, which is going to be quite scary. There we go. So we're pitching to levels, and I'm sure we'll probably be about to respond with this Transcend. Yep. The benefits of this, banishing a card, but really it's the chi that Zen wants.
Yep. And that turns on the levels of enlightenment by 1 mode, right, as well?
Correct. So Kashy will be able to choose 2 modes here. So often the Zen will choose to draw a card and go again, but we'll see how it turns out this game.
So he's going to resolve the Transcend first, goes search for his combo card, and then carry on with the levels.
You see Descending Gust Wave, you know a big line's coming.
Yeah.
This might be a big Bond's turn. We know there's one Descending Gust Wave already in a graveyard.
There we go.
So let's see how big this turn ends up being.
Oh, I'm just loving life, really. Just sat here, just watching Flesh and Blood. I'm sure the whole chat is, and everybody around the world is watching this, just loving life on this Sunday afternoon, or wherever you might be out in their big wide world. Could be a different time zone, but just this is what it's all about. And yeah, just high level play. Great
Absolutely.
stuff.
It's great to see, especially to see this aggro matchup coming back in the finals. Heavy hitters, we saw it was very much a value orientated. There was a lot of armor blocking, a lot of calculating how to make best use of your turn in terms of blocking versus attack. Whereas now we've flipped into a very fast and very aggro meta. So it's great to see this come back into the game.
Absolutely.
Okay, Kashy's just deciding how.
Anton can have my wife, please win. That's funny.
Hello to Anthony Vero, another member of Team Sigil, so I'm sure he's supporting his teammate today.
Yeah, I've seen a few retweets on Twitter. Lovely old job.
Yeah, Sigil are very supportive of each other.
They are.
Okay, we're just thinking this through. Zen's all about the sequencing, so you need to make sure you're doing every step of the way correctly. So
and that's what we were saying, right? This is, very, very early stages, but every decision matters.
There you go. So yeah, Anton's decided he doesn't want to block. It's coming in with a Tiger, which comes in for 0.
Do we know what the modes were on that levels? It was draw, was it?
I think it was draw and go again.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Ooh.
Tiger swipe.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is coming in for 4 with go again.
+2 from
and you
the
get
effect.
that many tigers if it hits.
Correct.
Based on the ones that are on the chain. Okay, cool.
Okay. Here we go.
Now, we haven't seen any. Have we seen any bonds like go to the graveyard or anything? Is this more tiger oriented, or is it the bonds, rainbow bonds sort of situation?
I believe this deck is more tigers orientated, and of course we don't have any finishers for the deck. The idea of this deck, I believe, is to go in for that Talishar finisher for 4. So it's about consistency and just consistent damage.
Yeah.
I believe, but we'll see how it all plays out. Of course, all Zen with these bonds turns are capable of hideous things. And certainly seeing that Descendant Gust Wave in the Banished Zone ready to be played, it gives a clue to Anton what's about to happen.
Exactly, yep.
Okay.
1K watching, spam that like button, guys. Yeah, if you're watching, if you have the option to just like the video, that helps with Tabletop 24's algorithm and all that YouTube-y stuff. So please do that when you can. But yeah, blocking with the Teklo and Magnetic Shockwave.
Absolutely. So we've seen that often both decks actually don't really have much in the way of on-hit effects a lot of the time, although they do have the options. Many aren't played. So when you see a Tiger Swipe, you'll probably want to block it.
Yeah.
Just coming in with 100 wins.
There's less on hits, more on plays, isn't there? Especially with Dash as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all about the numbers in this and the sequencing, especially in Zen. In Dash, I think it's much more about setting up those big turns when you can, as we've seen previously with those maximum velocities.
Yeah.
Whereas Zen is very much, he can set up his combos during the turn using that great chi ability of his.
Yep.
And of course, once you've got one chi that's in the deck, that Traverse the Universe just allows you to pull it out whenever you like.
Yep.
Okay, so now we've got Descendant Gust Wave coming in for 3. Didn't see what the last card is in his hand. The question is he following it up with the bonds?
2 floating, so that could signify, as we've seen in other Zen games, I think today actually, time is a construct to me right now, but we've seen a lot of interactive cards come out of that 2 as well, like things like the Weakest Link and other interaction cards, but it could also signify that it's just a Talishar swing or a bonds, etc. So it could be a load of different things here.
Absolutely. Of course, Anton's got no card in Arsenal, so he's not too scared of a CNC right now.
Yeah. But if it's a Weakest Link, I haven't seen the list. That could also strip card from hand potentially. If there's an item in there, but I'm not sure if we have.
Yep. So we're going for a bonds turn.
Cool.
Okay. Okay, just getting 100 wins, just a tiny bit more extra damage. Of course, probably wants a Flusterfist here, but there's just none in the graveyard right now.
Yep.
So it looks like this Zen list is very much just about using the extra value to get that extra 3 damage and then finish with the Talishar.
Finish with Talishar, yeah. Makes sense. And it's got him this far, so fair play.
Absolutely. Those 4 damages add up. And
They do indeed.
Even if it breaks after the 3rd time, you've got your value out of it. We're looking at the life totals. We've got 27 versus 16. So we are getting to the point where someone's going to need to block sooner or later.
We're going to get there eventually. Yeah, what a great game.
Okay, just shuffling up. Anton deciding. Okay.
Did you think it would come down to aggro v aggro?
I did, but not in this way. Dash has really given a surprise. When I saw it, I had spoken to Alex before, and I know Alex has supported Dash all the way up to this. And of course, Anton's in the team sigils on a similar list. I was thinking, why are you bringing in Dash? I understood it did you well in the previous meta, but the times have changed. Can you keep up with these aggro matchups? It turns out Dash can keep up with everyone.
Dash can do anything. She's so versatile, such a versatile deck. But yeah, here comes 100 wins, 3 for go again. And of course, the 2 floating signifying the Talishar swing at the end here for 4.
Yes. And then finally, Zen just inviting Dash to just come down to 16 life. But no, Dash is saying, no, I'm going to just block 3 there.
Yeah.
Of course, the value of Zephyr Needles versus Talishar is that with the 2 and 2, you can get a bit of extra damage. If you're only blocking with 1 card, you're getting 2 over the top.
Yeah.
Whereas with Talishar, getting a clean 3 block isn't too bad on a 4. Okay.
0 to 60, getting a throttle out of there, coming in for 6 with go again.
Anton just keeping cool and collected.
Yeah, just squeezing that value out of that Teklo Pounder. Love to see it.
Of course. Both got value that just destroys itself after 3 turns.
Yep.
So quite similar. Okay.
Here comes a Traverse block.
When Traverse block comes in, you know that Zen's probably not going to be blocking the rest of this turn. And we're probably going to see something come up next turn. That might be quite bad.
Well, we see he had a CNC in hand, plus the Tiger that he's getting, plus the combo card that he's getting here. A lot can happen.
A lot can happen, and clearly he's got 1 big turn stacked up. Let's see what he can do. Okay, a lot of shuffling of the deck this game.
Absolutely. Even at the very start, when the card itself said shuffle the deck, they were just like, "No, we've already shuffled, so it's fine."
But now it makes all the difference.
It does.
Okay, we're just going to load up.
peep the Arisana sleeves. What are they? What are they from? Let us know. Spark of Genius.
Okay, just fetching an item. Oh, there you go. Anton's decided he wants to shuffle his deck too. So
yeah.
time to pick up your deck and just find the item you like and just stick it in.
Yeah, shuffle it in.
Yeah.
Finding that Teklo core. Lovely old job.
He's deciding, actually, I will probably just want to set up some value for future turns.
Yeah.
And of course, he knows something bad's about to happen with Traverse. It's a harbinger of things to come. So I hope someone in the chat is going to be counting how much damage that comes through. Okay.
All right.
So because Anton has boosted this turn, he will get to draw a card. There we go. And now decides he could always activate Accelerator if he wants to get another action point, but he might not want to do that. So yep, he's just going to ask
just setting up. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Here we go. An interesting. Zen has no Arsenal, so coming in. Although we've got the extra card from the Traverse. The question is he trying to pop off on this big turn a bit earlier than he maybe had planned previously? Okay, so we are seeing levels of enlightenment. And then we're activating Zen in response, so getting that instant in to activate 2 modes of levels of enlightenment.
Obviously, getting 2 modes there because he's got the chi and the thing before that. Lovely old job.
Fetching a red descendant there.
Yeah.
So we are seeing that weakest link is in the deck, so that could always
okay.
pull a few cards out of Dash's hand in future turn. But right now we know that it's just a CNC in hand, so we'll see how this comes through. Just shuffling the deck again, and then it'll be passed over to Anton. Again, a lot of communal shuffling this round.
Looks like chat are doing the maths for us. It's 20 damage apparently.
Thank you to Kramer. And Kramer, another member of Team Toxic, so knows this deck very well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Team Toxic, in fact, both teams, Team Sigil and Team Toxic, have really pushed these decks to their limits in terms of how they've optimized them.
Yeah.
So it's great to see. We've seen week on week, as part of the Misfail meta develops, teams are really pushing how these decks are formed. And certainly looking at the US Nationals champion, Evan Herndon, turns out the Team Toxic ended up on quite a similar list in terms of the basic foundations, but they've just taken a few sideboard options and so forth in a slightly different direction, which is great to see that versatility within different nations.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so we do have a weakest link in hand. Interesting. Let's see if that has an effect this turn. Okay.
Shuffle and blood.
Okay. Again, Kashy's just making sure he's sequencing perfectly because with Zen, every card needs to follow each other. So you really do need to play this out well. So what do you think of the match so far? Pretty fast, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty fast. I mean, yeah, we're still on the early turns here, but yeah, it doesn't feel like it's a typical aggro game at all with the amount of decisions that they're having to make here.
Absolutely. Both decks are willing to just sit back and do a little bit of setting up, which maybe you wouldn't expect to do from an aggro matchup. But we have to see that both Talashar's had 1 use out of it, but that Pounder is going to be leaving the board soon.
Yep. That's what I mean. Ideally, you want to try and leverage that, right? You want to try and crack back as hard as you can while that thing still exists. So it's hard that if you're put in this position where you have to block a traverse the turn before that set up this one.
Absolutely.
You're not going to squeeze that out, are you? But we'll see.
In a lot of these types of games, it's all about who can start threatening lethal first, who can force cards out of your opponent's hand first. And right now, it seems pretty neck and neck. It seems whether Kashy can really just push in that final bit of damage just to force a few more cards out of Dash's hand that maybe she would like.
Yeah.
So we're coming in with a Descendant Gust Wave again. So we know this is going to be followed up with the bonds from hand. But we'll see.
And what's the maths on Dash's equipment here? How much block is that? This is balance is 2, right?
We've got balance is 2 block. We've got 1 block left on the Tech Life Andrew Hart. And the stone wall is really, it blocks for 1 and it prevents 1 for the rest of the chain. So the question is,
okay, right.
Does Zen have to close the chain or not? Which is very relevant because if you can get the off 2 attacks, then that's 3 value.
Yep.
But as soon as the chain's closed, that value ends.
Good observation.
So maybe Anton wants to throw in the Stonewall Gauntlets now, knowing that you can't cut the chain after a gust wave. You really do need to be playing a bonds afterwards. After the bonds, maybe then you can close the chain, but not before.
Maybe we could see that this turn then, perhaps.
Potentially. So we're just still deciding on the blocks.
Yeah, and again, despite it being an aggro match, you know, one of these players is going to have to block at some point, as you just said. So, what a pleasure it's been.
Absolute pleasure. Spending the weekend with you, Az.
Yeah, and you, mate, and you, and the whole team. Really, it's just been a great dynamic between everybody. So it's just, yeah, it's just been great.
That's it.
Okay, no blocks on that. Go down to 13. And I'm following up with a Bonds of Ancestry. Here we go.
The Zen Classic. Of course, Katsu can use these cards too, but Zen's really adopted these as his own.
Poor Katsu. I can just go and search for it. I don't need to hit. I can just go and get it.
And of course, as Chats mentioned, the key with Stonewall Gauntlet is it really needs to block something that has grace in its base. So it probably won't be used this turn unless an Art of War gets played.
Makes sense.
It can be used on the bonds, but that's probably not the best of values unless. So we'll see how this develops over the course of the game.
Yeah.
But not many turns left. We're down to 12 and 13 life. So it seems like if Anton can hold his hand, he might be threatening big damage this turn.
Full card hands are going to be threatening lethal every turn, aren't they now? They probably have done for the last couple of turns, but this is sick. Nonetheless.
Here we go.
National Championship in the balance.
We should have had a shuffle counter for this round.
We should have done, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't think about that. Here we go.
The National Championship could actually hang in the balance of justice.
But drawing cards, you need that. You need that Art of War to be able to use it.
You do, yeah.
It's 2 block, which is always good. But to get that extra value, the question is an Art of War going to be played?
Yeah. And do you want to hold on to see the Art of War? Probably not. You don't want to hold on to see that, right?
Wow. At this point of the game, yes, an Art of War probably is going to be a bit scary.
Yeah. All right, 4 to the face from the bonds. What are we going to see afterwards? We got the CNC as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Say goodbye to that Arsenal.
Tiger Swipe. My goodness me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tiger Swipe for 5.
CNC as well after this. That's outrageous.
Oh.
And potentially getting more tigers? No, they're not buff.
No, we're blocking the tiger. We don't want any more tigers.
No.
So Anton sees that hit effect and decides, no, I'm going to stop that right now.
Yeah.
Into a CNC. So we had the choice there of a CNC or a weakest link. So it's great to have that versatility in your hand.
Yeah, we saw it earlier. The massive chain enders can either be Talishar or this. I think it was Isaac from Flesh and Blood Cards actually, who did not know how to deal with that 2 floating at the end, and it turned out to be a weakest link, or some form of 2-cost interaction card, which really screwed his turnover. But stuff.
Interestingly, we see 2 Trace the Tails and a Transcended cheat card. So. I don't think you can make full use of your ability with those. I believe Chase the Tail, that's a 1 cost. So this could be just be a blue that gets pitched away. Okay, let's see. But of course, it doesn't block as well.
Okay, so Zipper Hit coming in, boosting away a Throttle, and coming in with the last Teklo Pounder buff, which puts it up to 5. Five go again boost.
Boosted. Just seeing which cards he's boosted away. Always good as a dash player just to monitor what cards have you lost. Now he's not lost too many power cards. You can see that there's a 1 Pulse Wave Harpoon, but there's 2 more that are stuck in the deck, which is better than the last game. So yeah, those Pulse Wave Harpoons will really come into their own if it comes down to the end game. But he needs that full hand to be able to play it to its full value.
At the very start as well, we saw the Twin Drive get banished as well. So that was another high value target. But yeah. There we go. Look at this.
Here we go.
Look at this composure from Emad.
Of course, 14 rounds we've had so far. So really fought through this entire meta. This field of over 100 players, 134 players, the biggest UK nationals ever. So really had to fight for an extremely tough field to get to this point in the competition.
If I'd taken a sip each time there was a shuffle, I've entered my own Zen state.
As
Brilliant. No, that wasn't my
you.
comment.
I thought you
that
just
was Jonathan Reed. Shout out to you in the chat.
Thank you, Jonathan.
you thought that was me.
Yeah, I thought you were just saying, okay,
me.
interesting. Okay, so this game is turned. So Dash was leading it, but you can see they've got that 7 value versus that 7 life total versus 9. If Zen can start closing this up and just forcing lethal, but he is going to use. Interesting. So he has 2 1 cost in hand, but he is going to use the chi to pitch into Zen's ability.
Yep.
Instead of paying for them. So those chaser tails, of course, they need a tiger. So Tiger Swipe is the perfect card for this situation.
I think so. Yeah.
At the very least, it's going to force some cards out of Anton's hand. As we've seen, you've only got 1 block left on that Teklo Foundry Heart, and that Stonewall Gauntlet's not activated yet. So the question is, what are you going to block with? Yeah.
Cards from hand, which is just not good.
Not good.
Not good.
And of course, Chase the Tail, it just needs that second tiger. Kashy's got that 1 tiger to go beforehand, but he just needs that the Tiger Swipe to hit for 1, just so he can get that extra tiger.
Get the extra 1, yeah.
For extra value. Okay. Okay, so we're playing 1 tiger into
Chase the Tail. So essentially 7 damage over the course of two cards here. So 4 go again with the tiger being buffed after this for +3.
Absolutely, and remember it's the next Crouching Tiger you play. So he is interesting. He's keeping it face up information. He could have come in with the Tiger Swipe to begin with, just as a blind information. I'm not telling you whether I've got Chase the Tail. He's chosen actually to say I have got Chase the Tail. Therefore, if you don't block this Tiger Swipe, I am coming in for more damage.
Yeah.
So it's a really interesting play there, Kashy, just to force some cards out of hand and play this openly rather than keeping your cards close to your chest and only playing what you need to.
Absolutely.
So a very heads-up play there from Kashy.
Yeah, Anthony, he's on flippers. I made that mistake earlier. I was like, oh, yeah, we still got the stride over here, but no, absolute flippers.
There's plenty of Kano out there. You always need your tide flippers just to be on the safe side. Okay, so we're blocking 3 on that 4.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So we say, okay, regardless of what you do.
Yeah, this is going to get turned on, because obviously the red card before it, and then the tiger is still live after this to come in for another 3, right? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
But he's just a bit short of pitch at the moment. That's the difficulty.
You're still awake, Kiki, 3 a.m.? Fair play.
Hello to Kiki and everyone at the Rainbow Pitch Grit team.
Absolutely, yeah. Can't wait to see how that turns out.
Yep. Here we go. Okay, Anton. He put a card out there, didn't he? And then he pulled it back.
Edgy seat stuff.
Oh, of course, he's still got 8 life, so he can always take this. But that Tiger Swipe.
Look at that. Just in the tank. Pure composure from both of our potential champion. We will see.
Coming for 4.
Because of the Shuko. Lovely old job. Aspects is Chase the Tail's best friend.
Oh. Great hand. Really optimizing that sequencing there just to fetch it out. With the Tiger Swipe, can he afford to pay for the Tiger Swipe? Because he has no resources floating. Okay, because that Tiger's buffed, Anton's thinking about, yep, he's going to put that Stonewall Gauntlet out.
Yes, Anthony, this is more of a Tiger build, I believe, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah, the team have been talking in chat and saying it's a Tiger build.
Yeah.
So here we go. Okay. Of course, Tiger Swipe is a 0 cost, so he doesn't have to worry about that.
Oh, there we go then.
It's buffed to 4, but unfortunately gets a -1 because of Stonewall Gauntlet. Of course, he can't close the chain, and that's what we were saying earlier. If you can't close the chain, then you're going to get punished by it.
Yep.
So that Stonewall Gauntlet, although it's only got 1 block, it's actually blocked for 3 now.
That's pretty good. So it did well to save it until this particular moment in time.
Fantastic play from Anton.
Which is what we've seen all weekend, let's be honest.
And
this guy is great.
And Anton's really thinking now. 3, he could go down to 3, but he's only got 2 cards. can he do much to Kashy when Kashy's got 7 life? It looks like this might be nigh on threatening lethal next turn. But
yeah.
Because it's great to see both Team Sigil and Team Toxic in the chat. Both teams have been working extremely hard for working this through. Anton's really thinking here. He's in a really tight spot. He was leading the entire game, but this turn has really turned it around. It's not the most powerful turn that Zen can do, but the sequencing has just been awkward enough that it's really forced Anton to make some tough decisions.
We're getting there. We're getting there. We're going to decide the champion very soon for the United Kingdom.
Unfortunately, it's a red being pitched and not a blue. So if he had a blue, he'd have 2 floating there for that Talishar. But that Talishar is just going to sit there this turn.
It is, yeah.
Hello to Frank over in Canada. You're my idol in terms of streaming, my friend. In terms of the Canadian stream was fantastic. So.
Oh, nice little shout out.
Yeah. Here we go. They're both thinking. We keep thinking, has the internet cut out? No, both players are so still.
Yeah, they're just...
You just sometimes see them blink, but they're both just thinking through what are their options right now. And Anton's right now, he's in such a tough spot. But that 3 damage is not going to change no matter how long you look at it. Okay, yep, he's just decided he's going to take it. Oh, and that creates a tiger. But the tiger, I believe, won't be doing any damage. So he's just going to leave in the banish zone. Just keep a pet tiger in your banish zone.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Of course, being an ephemeral card, it dies once it goes to the graveyard. But if you keep it in the banish zone, you can keep that tiger around for life.
And we have seen Art of War and more Transcend cards be picked up there, drop in the ocean, I think.
And we can see that Kashy's got that 4 block on armor. So this is going to put Anton in an extremely tough spot here. So so we've got boost from 0 to 60. And of course, Anton could always activate Teklo Foundry Heart to try and get 2 extra pitch if he needed it. But right now, it looks like it might just be a small attack into maybe a pistol.
What can you make anything out of those Teklo resources though? There's 1 card in hand. You can't activate a pistol multiple times, can you? Unless you... No, you can't Achilles it either, can you?
Oh.
Right down to the wire.
Yes. This is what the aggro comes out to. You just see the big numbers at the beginning. Really what it comes down to is what is the end game state. Yep. Really, they're building up to these last few turns where really what are you doing to me and who is on which health and who is the advantage and who has the card advantage. It all matters in these aggro matchups.
Yeah.
Lots of very key small decisions about building up these big turns to facilitate the situation that Kashy's got right now. So even on 3, Kashy could decide to go to 1, or he could decide to block with Shuko's or Kasai. No, he's decided he is just going to go to 1. So he wants that extra value of the Shuko's.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay, so he is using the Achilles Accelerator.
He is using the Achilles Accelerator. Yeah. So he can just load up the pistol.
There. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay.
One more time. Okay, this is going to force some cards out of hand.
Pistol just so good at stripping cards. There we go. Blowing up the gauntlet.
Kashy said, okay, you can just take that, but I am going to I am going to keep hold of 3 cards.
Oh,
this is really, that accelerator was at the perfect time.
Yeah, it was.
Just to bleed an extra card out can make all the difference here. Expert play from Anton. Really heads up. Okay, here we have 100 wins.
There's the blue card for the Transcend at least. So we're going to see two more cards per se from the Transcend of Zen if we are transcending, and there is an Art of War as well. I don't know. I can't see the lines.
I can't. What is this line? This is interesting. Okay, so taking the 1.
What do we got? Drop in the ocean. Transcend because of the 100 wins. Pitching into Zen. Going to get a Tiger and a combo card. Yeah. He's got a blue pitch in hand because of the Transcend, though. Yes.
Yes. But, of course, that's going to put it in Banish, not in hand. And if you want to use that... Oh, because he gets the Tiger in hand. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Excuse me, we're not Zen players. No. We don't know this, but Kashy knows what he's doing. He gets that tiger in hand, which is the perfect fodder for Art of War, of course. Spinning, you can just put a tiger to the bottom of your deck. And choose that lovely Marvel tiger. That's not going to see the light of day.
No.
Just keep it in the dark.
Just use as fodder, yeah.
Here we go. Perfect play here. And because, of course, it's an instant, he can just do that while it's still on the chain. Oh, this is perfect from Kashy. Oh. Okay, we're just going to shuffle the deck, but, you know, for a 3-card hand, this is not going to be bad.
No. Right, here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. Here we go.
Here we go. Players both very diligent in their plays. They've been playing so tight here, and that's exactly what we need to do in the finals.
Absolutely. This determines who's the next UK champ. And a fresh UK champ.
Here we go. Art of War. Of course, banishing during 2. And it must be said that Kashy has developed this deck in the Team Toxic, which includes previous national champion George Roger. So this team has a lot of pedigree here for their results in the past. As do Team Sidra with all these great Calling and Pro Tour finishes.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens here. Yep, so taking extra 1, that 100 wins had a +1 on it. Now coming in for 4. And now when you've got 1 block on the Teklo Foundry Heart, it means you're going to be giving up, for 5 even, going to be giving up cards. Oh. So he gets a buff from the previous 100 wins and from Art of War. This is going to demand 2 cards. This could get ugly for...
It looks like it.
Interesting, and now you can see in hand we have the Jade Tigers Transcend. So the question is, does Kashy want to get another Transcendent, or do you just want the Enlightened, the levels of Enlightenment play? Now he's already played the hero ability once this turn, so he probably doesn't want to Transcend. So it'd be interesting to see how this goes down. Maybe just wanting that valuable draw card, that extra card, just to give that extra. You'll have some have a blue and an extra attack.
Yeah.
But that Talishar is still online, and that is scary for a dash. You can see that.
Of course it is.
This is coming for 5, but you still got that Talishar for 4. It won't be buffed by the Art of War, but a 4 is a 4 when you're on 2. Here we go. So 2 cards down. Okay, so Anton's on 2 cards. The question is, what's next? Deciding to close the chain.
You can draw a card off of the Enlightenment and then pay for the resources into the... Oh, no, he's just doing the Jade Tiger. Okay, then, let's go.
So Jade Tiger, of course, gives you Tigers +1 and 2 Tigers. It's nice to have a bit of variety in your Tigers available. So we've got both the Marvel Tiger there and the Japanese Tiger. That beautiful Japanese print Tiger.
Represent.
Okay, so this Tiger's going to be coming for 2. Oh, so your Tiger gets 1 from the Jade Tiger's ability and also 1 from the Art of War. This is...
insane.
This might be sealing the game here. We know it's going to have 2 into 4. I don't know how. Well, we can block this if you got 3 blocks. But the question is, how do you survive the next turn when you're on 2 and you're going to go down to 1 from Talishar? Expert play from Kashy here.
Crazy.
From 3 cards, he's just whittled away Anton's life total and just forcing these blocks through for 4. Yep. So we got that. We've got that block. So Anton is going to stay at 2, which is great. You do not want to be blocking Tigers for 1. But now you're letting Zen hit you with a 4-card hand. This is really coming down to the wire, being on 1 and 2, but Kashy on Zen being able to lead with a 4-card hand. There's
another Transcend there as well.
But we see a Transcend with a blue 100 wins. This is perfect for Kashy. He's going to be able to play that 100 wins and a second 100 wins for +1 and then gain 1 life. Okay, so we are going to see maybe they get Kasaya being put in front of this. It is just 2 damage after all. But maybe he does want that extra pitch from the Kasaya. No, he's decided now's the time to cash it in. You've got your pitch from it. You've got everything you need. Now's the time to just destroy it. Take that 2 value, and now we're coming in with a 4-card hand. But you can see this line. Okay, so he's deciding to. Okay, he's deciding not to transcend. He's just going to come in with a simple 4.
Using his pitch. Okay.
4 go again.
I'm just absolutely engrossed in what's happening here.
Yeah. Maximum velocity. We said a lot of the time it just gets used for block, and Anton's been using it to great effect this weekend. But for now, he needs to block.
We saw some insanity in the last round. Let's be honest, but yeah.
Okay, now we're on 1-1. With 2 floating, we know we're going to come in for need a card here. We're going to need a card for the next 100 win. We're going to need 2 cards for the next 100 wins. And I believe that Talishar might close it there. We only see some 3 blocks, and there's just not enough against these 4s. So here we go. So that comes in for 4. Because it's got the +1 from the previous Art of War.
Oh, wow.
And then the
Talishar kills it.
Talishar wins the game.
Oh, my God.
Incredible work. Kashy, Emad Kashy, your UK Flesh and Blood National Champion.
Amazing
2024.
Work.
Incredible work from Kashy.
Jesus Christ. Oh.
Okay, so we will be coming back. And what do you think of that game?
That was insane. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wow. I'm lost for words, mate.
I thought Dash was leading it, and Dash was leading it until the very end. As we were saying, in aggro matchups, it all comes down to what is that life total at the end and who is threatening lethal. And we just saw Kashy and Zen just forcing that extra block here and there, which made all the difference, reducing Dash's output until he can finally close the deal and just end it to become UK National Championship for Flesh and Blood 2024.
Well done, Kashy. Good stuff, mate.
Great games. Okay, so we'll be going to an interview with Baz and Emad shortly. So join us then, and see you soon.
Don't go anywhere. Cheers, guys.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the UK Nationals. Our national champion for 2024, Emad Kashy.
Thank you very much.
Oh, my God, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic final. Yeah. Anton's been playing a stormer for the last 2 days. Sort of like leading the leaderboard. You've slowly sort of like been making your way up there.
Yeah.
You had a fantastic draft session.
Yeah.
Your losses came to Matt Folks in the Swiss. Where else?
Yeah, I lost to a friend of mine, a local, Kevin, and he was playing Azalea. He absolutely rolled me.
Come all this way, play local. It's brilliant. So you had to get through Matt Folks, sort of like a quarterfinal. Was it much different? Did you have a different game plan?
So that game, it was the last round of Swiss. Me and him were like both relaxed because we were both X2 going in the last round, so we were both locked in for top 8.
Yeah.
It's like we were playing for 2nd and 3rd seed. So I think we were both really chill. I sat down. I actually presented the wrong legs. We run time skippers, but I ran the block 1 ninja ones. I did that. I looked at it. It was like, can I homie change? She's like, no. I was like, that's fair.
You're never going to get that from Matt.
But yeah, I'm quite comfortable in the matchup because me and Matt have played like 100 games on Discord playing that exact matchup. So, and my deck's a bit teched for him. I've got the poppers, but I always love playing Matt. It's always like a really tense moment. I'm really happy I got to play him again in the semis, and it's just nerve wracking. It's why we play Flesh and Blood, those high tense, high pressure games.
Absolutely. So, let's talk about the final. Anton, sort of like semi-final, sort of like came out of the blocks. You must have heard it. It was just like, it was outrageous what he did.
Yeah.
He had like the perfect hands. So like this one was a lot slower, a lot more. I mean, he got off to a blinding start, to be fair. But yeah, when you start taking damage, I was looking at your hand. I was sitting on your side, just going, "Are you going to be able to present this much damage back?" But you were very confident in your deck.
Yeah, the deck, it was built between Team Toxic. Big George did most of the legwork. I fucking love that guy.
Well, he's Ninja Man through and through.
Yeah.
I mean, he won Nationals 2022 on Fi.
Yeah.
So if you need someone to build you a Ninja deck, that's the guy you're going to go to.
I do want to shout out Kramer as well, our friend from Croatia. He's an absolute goat in the game, and he also helped build the deck with us.
Nice. All right. Brilliant. Fantastic work, Kramer. Well done. So Talishar. People, it's been the talk of sort of like UK Nationals. It's Talishar for Zen. It's not Needles. Sort of like we saw sort of like Needles versus Talishar game on stream. And I think the Talishar, you won that, didn't you?
Yeah, I beat Jake on it as well.
Yeah, indeed. So it'll be interesting to see if Talishar's picked up sort of like anywhere else.
Yeah.
But sort of like it certainly sort of like did, it certainly did some work in that game.
It thrives in the mirror in very like close aggro races. Like the weapon having the extra attack is insane.
Yeah, I mean, you blocked out against Jake. You just blocked out his needle straight away, broke him. You went, we're having none of that.
Yeah,
but you're not going to block you're not going to take care of my Talishar. I'm going to get at least 3 swings in.
Yeah.
But must have been nice to win with it.
It was great. Yeah, I'm mainly just happy that the hard work that the boys have all put in together has paid off because we've been all grinding together. We all drafted together. Like I think me and Jacob at one night, we drafted from 6 p.m. to like 6 a.m.
Oh my God.
It paid off though. But then, and then obviously me and George, I think we played 100 Zen mirrors. We'd be times we're playing on Discord, people would jump in and be like, "Why are you guys still playing this mirror?" And I was like, "No, it'll be worth it for that. It'll be worth it for that."
Well, considering sort of like, you know, most represented deck, you just like you got to know it inside and out to win it.
It's what helped me win against Jake. If I think I had more reps than him because he was doing. I talked to him about afterwards. I was like, "Did you play the matchup much?" He's like, "Nah, I didn't actually have time to play that much." I was like, and it really edged me against that, so I wouldn't even be here if it wasn't for all those reps with George.
So talk of the event has been Sigil versus Toxic, the two sort of like biggest teams that the UK have got. Sort of like you got one up on them at the minute. You know, we'll see what it's like for the rest of the year. So going forward, sort of like looking at sort of like Rosetta. Are you going to stick with Zen, or are you a Rune Blade Wizard player? Or?
So, I like playing decks that do damage. That's been my recent mode. I started as Bolton, and all I did in Bolton was defend, but then do 30 damage combo. And then now I'm like, but then I went some Lexi, and then now I've been doing Katsu for a while.
Yeah.
Katsu was really cool. And then this Zen deck just looks like Katsu, but better. I don't have to hit them. I just find the cards for fun. So unless Zen gets hit by anything, I can see myself playing it more in the future.
All right, brilliant. So you're going to Pro Tour?
Yeah.
Okay, so expect Zen there.
And then this money, I was actually on the fence about Worlds, but I think the money from first, it'll probably help fund Japan as well now.
You've got to go. You've got to fly the flag.
Yeah.
Why are you saying?
I'm going now.
Yeah.
I'm saying that now that I've won, I'm going to go to Worlds as well.
Nice, good. You get to fly the flag and
rep the UK
and do the walk. And get the cheer.
Yeah, I forgot about the flag stuff.
That's the whole part of it, isn't it? It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So everybody, UK national champion 2024, Emad Kashy. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Well done. Yes. Are you going to open your gold foil for us?
Yes, for a treat for the stream, we are getting the gold foil legendary. Everyone was asking what would I like. I said if I get Traverse or a Kasaya chest, I'd be over the moon. I'd have to run it. We'll see. God, it's always the tape's always annoying.
Mark Henderson says Sigil beat Toxic last year.
Yeah, it's a bit of a grudge match revenge. So we'll bring it up first. I've seen it. It is Flick Knives.
There we go. Nice.
So print more serious support for me, thank you.
Any gold foil's a good gold foil.
That is true.
No, well done.
Thank
Absolutely brilliant. Don't go anywhere. We're going to do the closeout, and we'll be back real soon.